Good morning. You are here with Nix. I know, right? Gone is the fro, and here we go. How are you today? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, you've all rinsed and put out your recycling so that the guys don't have to smell things unnecessarily. Remember, the blue can is recycling, the green can is for trash. Make sure you're being a little bit more friendly to your trash drivers because they have to go around the whole city collecting a bunch of people's gunk. So the less bacteria and the less maggots they run into, the better. Some things can't be avoided. It is hot, it is summer, and some people do have to throw away meat. But try your best to wrap it up into a bag, double bag it, or something like that so that we can protect our guys from things like hepatitis and other various diseases. I mean, they already have to be on the back of the truck, okay? All right. With that being said, let's proceed. Yesterday was a day. It seemed like we're coming to the head of things, where people aren't able to get proper care and mental health is still being overlooked big time. And in my travels, I've seen a lot of things. And what I did see is there's a little bit of a paradox going on as far as the mental health is concerned. Some of these people out here are using their mental health issues and things of that nature to basically mix up the signals. You don't know whether or not this person is scheming, scamming, or not, or they really do need help. And the discernment is really up to you. But I've seen a few individuals who look like they've been helped way too much. It's something dangerous in coddling a person. I think a lot of us need to go back to the point of no. See, a lot of the adults that we see now haven't effectively been treated with the word no and the proper actions, which is acting accordingly and actually keeping it at no. A lot of times they end up getting coddled, and what ends up happening is they start going around the whole world, the whole neighborhood, the whole environment, waiting to get someone to let them in. And the thing about it is, if it's not a collective thing, someone ends up feeling as though they gotten over. So eventually, no one accepts your no. They just keep going around until they get somebody to open the door for them. And then next thing you know, all chaos ensues. It happened twice yesterday. But luckily for the second time that it happened, there was somebody there that was like, get out. He basically told him get out because there were two individuals. Both of them, I'm going to say, they were I guess they were in some type of treatment. Maybe dual treatment. Maybe they were being treated for mental health issues at the same time they were being treated for addiction issues at the same time, right? But two things were truth. They both needed help. However, the issue is they've probably gotten so much help that they've exhausted all their resources, and now they're cast out for the rest of the world to have to deal with and tolerate. And I don't think that was the main objective when they were born. I don't think people were born this way. Eventually, they get this way through not effectively experiencing the word no and always getting what they wanted versus what they needed. Now, it's different in everybody's place, it's different in everybody's life. But what is true and what is effective is when people learn to understand the word no. And when people also understand to live within their means. Okay, this is like, okay, you get $100 a week. You don't spend it all because you know there's another week coming, so you start to save. However, you get another coworker that comes in and they get the same exact $100. The thing about it is, before the week runs out, they haven't saved anything and they've actually spent their whole $100. But now because they see that you've actually got the wherewithal and the strength to actually save some money. Now they're plotting on what you have extra. And this is where the no comes in. If you say no, guess what? Not only do they learn that they can't come and get your extras, but you start to retain what you have. And you become an example. But I don't know what it is. I woke up pretty clear this morning as far as, so this might be ascension symptoms because I'm still clear. So here it is. So now this person, this is the flip side. The person has never been told no effectively. They always coerce somebody into saying yes. But your no, for some reason, they won't accept your no. So instead of them accept your no, they go about and they tell a lot of people that person's mean, they're selfish, they're egotistical. All I wanted was a few dollars, not really telling people I get the same exact money, but I don't save it. I get the exact same money and I don't share it. I get the exact same money and I spend it way before I get to know when I'm going to get more else. But they won't tell people that. They'll tell people that you're the big bad monster because you told them no and you stuck to it. And for the worst people, they'll try to get revenge on you because how dare you tell me no when I actually make people weak enough to tell me yes, even though I'm not really a good person, even though I'm not going to give them their money back, even though I'm never going to learn how to save. You should give me your extra because you were able to save. And this is what it looks like in a society where people haven't accepted no and they haven't gotten satisfied with what they have. They're too hard tapped on getting what's yours to make them comfortable, even though what they had could have made them comfortable had they followed either your example or learned a bit more about saving. But the problem is not yours. So remember, just like that, you can be a villain in somebody's story just by sticking to your no and being satisfied with what you have. They'll say, oh, that ain't even enough. That ain't even that much. Well, here's the thing. My that not that much turned into enough for me. It wasn't enough for you. Maybe you should try another job. Maybe you should get more talent. I don't know. But what I do know is what's mine's is mine's. And it can't be yours, okay? So hopefully that didn't go over anyone's head. I tried to make it as simple as possible, right? Right. Here we go. So I did choose a Psalms this morning, so let's go. Hold up, make sure, because sometimes I'll be looking at stuff and then I look back down at it and then I see some other words that drag on me. Nope, it's definitely this. Psalms 135. If you got a minute, if you got a book, come with me. Let's go. And I have my hat on already. I'm about to take this joint off as soon as we finish reading because yeah. Maybe the fact that my head is big, warmed up, is making everything come down. The biggest clearance you can have is letting all the mucus in your body go. If you know about mucilage and the body's function, you understand that releasing it as much as possible is the best healthy choice beyond sweating, because sweating is a detoxification of the skin surface and it definitely pushes a lot out. Okay? All right. So I'm not going to blow my nose on screen because kind of rude to me, but I am going to grab some water. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we're doing Psalms 135. Give me a second. Woo. That was a good one. All right, I'm back. Everybody good? Cool. Agua. Good. Woo, woo, woo. All right, make sure everybody's staying hydrated. Are you eating your fruits? Are you eating your vegetables? We know you eat meat because we smell it. I had to tell a guy yesterday, can you not put your sweater on me? He was like, oh, my bad. It's the water. It's the water. I don't need you to explain anything about your hygiene. What I need you to do is avoid exchanging hygiene with me. Yeah, that part. And we must be mindful, okay? Some people are nose blind. They've been dealing with their own smell so long that they're not aware that they even have a smell. So be aware of leaving your clothes in the dryer wet, leaving your clothes in the washing machine too long and not letting it completely dry. Be aware of basement smells and mildew because we're out here in the general public and people's walk by air has been no less than interesting lately, okay? I know, I get it. We all can't smell like powder fresh and things of that nature, especially if you've been out all day. But a lot of your diets are really telling by the way you smell when you walk by. I can definitely tell when somebody eats a lot of dairy. That is a smell you cannot confuse. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd kind of rather you smell like garlic than sour milk. Kinda. I said kinda. But let's get on to it. Messy. All right. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the name of the Lord. Praise him, O ye servants of the Lord. Ye that stands in the house of the Lord, in the courts of the house of our God. Praise the Lord, for the Lord is good. Sing praises unto his name, for it is pleasant. For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. For I know that the Lord is great, and that our Lord is above all gods. Whatsoever the Lord pleased, that did he in heaven and in earth, in the seas and all deep places. He causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings for the rain. He bringeth the wind out of the treasuries. Who smote the firstborn of Egypt, both of man and beast? Who sent tokens and wonders into the midst of thee, O Egypt, upon Pharaoh and upon all his servants? Who smote great nations and slew mighty kings? Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan, and all the kingdoms of Canaan, and gave their land for an heritage, unto Israel his people. Thy name, O Lord, endureth forever, and thy memorial, O Lord, throughout all generations. For the Lord will judge his people, and he will repent himself concerning his servants. The idols of the heathen are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Neither is there any breath in their mouths. They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusteth in them. Bless the Lord, O house of Israel. Bless the Lord, O house of Aaron. Bless the Lord, O house of Levi. Ye that fear the Lord, bless the Lord. Bless the Lord out of Zion, which dwelleth at Jerusalem. Praise ye the Lord. Selah, so be it, so let it be. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So, with that, let us be glad and grateful in what we have, for the Lord does load us with benefits every day. We only have yet to seek them out. And, hold up, yeah, seek them out and be encouraged. I'm cleaning up my area so that I can get my pink tarot out. So, yeah, there's that. So remember your spiritual health. Remember your social health. Be aware of yourself and how you feel. Know yourself. Don't let people talk you into confusion. Don't let people double talk you. Don't let people talk at you. And don't allow people to take out their frustrations on you, especially if you don't know them. They're not allowed to put their things on you. That is something that we definitely have to dial back with people. People are very, very comfortable with putting their things on strangers and their families just sitting there with no accountability at all. If your family isn't accountable, you shouldn't expect pure strangers to be accountable for your emotions either. No one's really entitled to anyone's space and time. So remember boundaries, not just when you're enacting them, but when other people have a right to have boundaries too. Just like I said, Guy, please stop sweating on me. I don't know you enough for all that. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what's coming out of your pores, and I don't want to share it. Okay? So if you're leaning on somebody and you're constantly bumping into somebody, 9 times out of 10, you might be crossing someone's boundary. And some people are so darn nice about it that people get a little entitled at times. I'm gonna need you to take your space back because I'm gonna take mine's back every time. Excuse me. Ew. Can you please not? Mm. It's just that when you know and you've lived through COVID and you've known and you've heard about MRSA and you know that they have this new skin disease where the people are having rashes, and you understand that you took a really good shower, did everything you could to make sure that you didn't pass anybody anything. So I think that the same encouragement should be done the other way. People don't get up and keep themselves clean just so that they can compensate for you wanting to be not clean. Okay? Hope you get that. I wrote these lyrics to my face went dry, so I gotta make this song cry. I wrote these lyrics to my face went dry, so I gotta make this song cry. See, the last time I saw you, I knew you wanted me dead. But I have a big heart, so I let it sit on my head. But I knew you was growing, so you made your bed. You know, I had to do it, but I prayed instead. I checked your browser, and I saw you studying Uvu. I didn't know when you got bread, you would do voodoo. Requested everything, ran up on me. You know, I really thought I knew you. I wrote these lyrics till my face went dry, but I gotta make this song cry. I wrote these lyrics till my face went dry, but I gotta make this song cry. It was a setup, yeah. I knew it, yeah. But all of y'all blew it. Y'all was too narcissistic, too braggadocious, you know? Yeah. Straight psychosis. I wrote these lyrics till my face went dry, but I gotta make this song cry. I wrote these lyrics till my face went dry, but I gotta make this song cry. My piece of the blueprint. All right, so we got Capricorn, Leo, and Virgo. Let's start off in the cap. Because people be capping all the time. They be running their mouth. And you gotta, sometimes it's your option to let them talk so that you can understand, so that you can respond. Or you could just shut them down right then and there because really you ain't had time for that shit. Really? Not really. All right. So I got 4 cards for my first pull and we're doing caps, right? So saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, control, frugality. Challenge, competition, protection, perseverance, defense, maintaining control. Fruits of labor, rewards, luxury, self-sufficiency, financial independence. So is the death. Yeah. Okay. So death came out at the end. That was the 4th card. So I'm going to let this stay in between because I usually just do 3. But the death is in between. Here's the thing. Somebody's dying to their old ways. And not only is that, other people are basically having to understand that the old you no longer exists. They have to put the old you to death. They have to kill whatever they thought was going down ain't happening now. Woo! Hot. Anyway, so here's the thing. You're learning how to save not only your money, your energy. You're learning how to basically conserve your energy, and that doesn't just extend to what you have in your pocket. It extends to you conserving your peace, your health, making sure that you're not overextending yourself, you're not over explaining yourself. If a person doesn't get you, you're okay with them not understanding and them thinking that you got, something stuck on the side of your face. It's okay. You're fine with that as long as they stop talking to you. Okay? So you're learning how to not just be there and show up for everybody. You're also learning to save your words. You're not casting your pearls amongst swine. And you're definitely not spending any extra money on people who wouldn't do the same for you. And that's learning definitely how to stay in your own lane and not worry about anyone else's. The worst thing you could do in this life is seek validation from a person who hasn't even validated themselves, okay? You can't buy it, you can't purchase it, you can't leverage it, you can't bargain it, you can't do anything about that. If a person isn't okay and there for themselves 100%, it's kind of hard for you to be there because now you're compensating and then they'll become dependent on that, codependent on that. So you pick and choose where you want to go. Use your discernment. So then the 7 comes up afterward, and this is Leo energy. Remember, we're in the Capricorn reading. Capricorn and Leo energy so far out here. The Cap was on the 4 and the Leo is on the 7. Challenge, competition, protection, perseverance, defense, maintaining control. Remember, we're in 2 retrogrades. So in retrograde, a lot of old issues will come back up. A lot of old conversations, some childhood memories, that old crush that you might have had, or situations that maybe you didn't handle quite well. So maybe you might get to use that punchline that you thought of the last time. Okay, so remember, this is your chance. Okay, somebody might say something, and remember, you've always been dying to say your mama on the right cue. Well, this is your chance. This is your moment. Take your time and just say, hey, this is it, your mama, and it's priceless. Timing is everything when it comes to comedy, okay? So remember to stake your moment, okay? So this is also bringing you to luxury, a life of luxury. A life of luxury doesn't always mean that you're running around in furs and silks and you're on your way to Dubai. I hope you're not going to Dubai in the thing of luxury, because what we've researched is bodies for potties. Okay, let's not go there. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you've already mastered saving your money, saving your energy, conservation, making sure that you're saving your space, saving your peace, never overextending yourself, then the next challenge is making sure that don't nobody come back and try to play in your face that already tried to play before. You're ready to dismiss them. You know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, you know what it smells like, so you're ready to let it go. Okay, so remember, you're not starting from the beginning, you're starting from experience. You already know what this looks like, you know what it smells like, you know what it sounds like, you know what happens before, you know the precursors. You can kind of gauge, because you weren't just born yesterday. Of course, some of you do act as though you have, but we'll save that for you. No. Okay, so now that you've got the 4 and the 7, which is 11, you're now intuitive, and now we have the 9 coming up, which is going to bring you to a 20, which is balancing your polarities. Now you understand that you don't have to be nice. You can be kind. You could respect yourself, and you could still say no, and guess what? It's on that other person how they take it, okay? So going forward, now you are a boss. You're the boss of yourself. You do realize that no is a whole and complete thought and a sentence. You also know that you're going to be intentional the next time you say yes. And guess what? You also have permission to change your mind if the conditions under which you said yes does change. And no one is allowed to guilt trip you for saying no, because the conditions depending on your yes did change. Is everybody getting that? Let me come back again. I'm gonna take a sip so that you can get what I said. Remember, when you said no, that was a complete no, that was complete thought, that was a complete sentence, right? So when you get to using the word yes, use it with intention. And remember, just because you said yes doesn't mean that you have to continue with that yes, especially when the conditions of the yes change. If you say yes and someone changes whatever the condition was before you agreed, then you have the right to turn that yes into a no. Okay? Don't allow people to gaslight you and love bomb you and then say, well, you said you were going to do this. Well, you said you were going to give that. You said you were going to allow me. No, you don't have to. If the conditions have changed, you are no longer feeling safe. It is no longer a benefit and it is now a disadvantage, especially if it becomes a liability. You darn tootin' right, you better turn that yes into a no, and you have every right to it. Be respectful to yourself so don't nobody else come playing with you, okay? You have the power to set the tone. You get to choose how people treat you. You get to choose how people talk to you. If they don't talk to you right, you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to interact with them. And they don't really get to run around becoming the victim all because they couldn't victimize you. And we have a lot of that in the culture. We have a lot of people, if they can't victimize you, they'll run around and try to recruit people to try to victimize you, even though you didn't want to victimize them. You just wanted them out of your energy, you wanted them out of your space, and you wanted to maintain your peace. A lot of people try to recruit people to push past people's boundaries, but they have an audacity to get upset when the same thing happens to them. Hypocrisy at its best. Okay, so finishing on that Capricorn reading with the fruits of labor. Mastering your skills and your resources, your space, of not allowing everybody to turn your doorknob or go into your refrigerator, not allowing everybody to spend the night or sit on your couch. All of your friends don't need to meet your family, and all of your friends don't need to meet your kids. There are some things that your friends or your associates do that you would not like them to teach your children. So be very guarded when it comes to your inner circle. Okay? That part. You see? Ready to hit you with a stick in your head because they've already been through a lot. They've already, what? Battle worn. So they're not about to let you approach. You know, they're not about to allow you to approach the first line just like that. They're on defense. They've already played offense and now they're on defense. When you finally get to the point where you've mastered defense, you'll be back in offense chilling. You'll be able to delegate. You'll know things and you'll move things around accordingly so that you can avoid having to come up out your pocket or about your face or about a bag, okay? When I say coming out of bag, some people want you to go crazy on them because they have no other way to make money than to try to litigate and sue you. Leave them suffering, leave them dry. In best case scenario, you litigate against them for being so goddamn petty. All right, there you go. And don't forget that all those transformations will definitely make you dead to someone else. Not literally, hopefully not. But it's going to make a person not want to come around you anymore. It's going to make a person think twice before they think about trying to borrow from you. And guess what? That is a death and transformation. Now they know that the old you is gone. They're going to have to re-meet you. And a lot of people aren't going to be brave enough. They're not going to be secure enough. They're not going to be as 100 as they say they are because they would have to learn how to be accountable for the things they said and the things that they thought in order to meet the new you. And guess what? Be happy with that. That is satisfactory because now you don't even have to explain what's already understood. I never knew you and you never knew me. And I think we should keep it going just like that. Okay? There you go. Did that sting? So the number is, I told you it went from 11. We added that 9. That turned into 20, which is 2. You're now ready to balance not only your life, new responsibilities because your no is intact and you also are very self-aware of what your yeses can do. Okay? There you go. Oh, somebody throwing that energy work. I wish you put that energy into your life or maybe your hairline. 10 Sagittarius, Knight of Wands, Two of Wands. Okay, Wands. Wand. All right, Wand. Okay, Wand. Who talks like that? Somebody talks like that. Somebody is teasingly annoying. Okay, sip of well, tea, not coffee, tea. Mm, so good. So now we're in Aquarius, and we have this 10, which is Sagittarius. We have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Two of Wands, okay? And the 10 of Wands in Sagittarius is saying burden, extra responsibility, hard work, and completion. The Knight of Wands is energy, passionate, inspired actions, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. And then we have the Two of Wands, which is planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans. The signs are Aquarius, Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, Aries. Okay, Aquarius, somebody has the assignment. Whoever this is in the Aquarius reading with Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, Aries, they not only have the burden of taking the lead in some things, but they have the burden period. It seems like they took the heaviest of lifting only because they promised a bigger outcome. Whoever this Aquarius is, their mouth got them in trouble. They told people that they could do it, that they could pull this through, they can get the job done. However, now they're finding that whatever the job was, they didn't look at it. That's like getting a plate and your eyes were bigger than your stomach, okay? And this is exactly what happened. Someone bit off more than they could chew. They really thought the whatever the opposition was weak. They thought that it was going to be an easy thing, like taking candy from a baby. However, that baby seems to be Majin Buu. If anybody understands what I'm talking about, Majin Buu is on Dragon Ball Z. The big pink invincible one that just seems to grow stronger and more muscular. Lost all that baby fat and turned into one big old muscle. You understand? Okay. So be sure if you're going to take candy from a baby, it's not like Majin Buu. Majestical, resilient, strong, not easy to puncture, not easy to that sort of thing. Very thick skin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's that? That's a show about Super Saiyans. Beings that have a few extra things. So you just can't whip their ass, so just like that. So whatever this Aquarius energy is, we have the 10 plus the 2, which is 12, which is divine intervention. Because guess what? Collective. Return to sender, give dark workers something to do. Return to sender, the collective is tired of you. Yeah, that part. So, in Aquarius, we see that one is finding out their opponent is a little stronger than what they thought. And they chose to take a lead in this situation. So now we have to worry about the fact that they're going to be a little bit more ambitious because it's a bit of desperation. They promised something, the outcome isn't coming. But the problem isn't, and the matter is, this person has taken the contract. Whatever that contract, it's about pay. I don't know if it's about status. I don't know if it's about property. I don't know exactly what they were promised if they had the positive outcome. However, whatever this person is seeing that this is not an easy fat. Do you see that? That looks so heavy. If you turn it upside down, maybe he's making a teepee. But I don't think they paid him for that. But you can build your own house. Maybe if they weren't so hard up on the contract, it wouldn't be so hard if they would just take whatever they got and go build their own things. But I digress, right? I digress. Who knows what she's talking about? She's not talking about how I wanted to talk, so maybe it's something wrong with her. Oh. Anyway, so We have the 10 here. That's burden, extra responsibility, hard work, completion. That's Aquarius and Sagittarius. And then we have energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. Yeah. Yeah. Okay with that, all right? You bit off more than you can chew, and unfortunately, you decided to take the lead. So you're going to have to either lead them to victory or lead them to failure. Either way, you need to be a good sportsman, okay? Don't be one of those people. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. He doesn't have good sportsmanship. Don't be don't be a Tanya Harding in a Nancy Kerrigan situation. Okay? Ouch, my leg. I'm so silly. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks to everyone who was here. We are definitely getting our numbers up. I do appreciate every one of you coming out to see me, waking up. Oh my goodness, we came a long way. It's been a little over a year now, and we're just getting started. I hope that we've got a lot more to talk about. Surely I've got a lot more to talk about. One thing you have to understand, if you're around a bunch of people who are blue collar thinking, when you get to thinking like a hippie, not even necessarily, especially when you're able to navigate not only their blue collar and the white collar, but you're also able to elaborate on things outside of those realms, people tend to shut down on you, and they kind of get a little offended, especially when they can't follow you verbatim through each of your life's courses. And some people will get offended, and some people will appreciate the fact that you've grown enough that you can go back and teach some more. But on the other end of things, some people will get upset that it was you that decided to go forward and grow a little bit more or think outside the box. Some people weren't even thinking about what you were doing. They were saying what you were doing was silly. They were saying what you were saying was silly. Oh, nobody's going to buy that project. Nobody's going to buy that art. Nobody's going to come in and support you, right? Wrong. So when they finally see it, even though they weren't thinking about it and they discouraged you and they told you nobody would think about you, nobody would come, nobody would hit like, you know what I'm saying? And then they finally see it. Some of them, they get upset. They're like, well, why are they coming to see you? And why do you think that you should get that attention? And it's like, it's cool if you don't pay it attention. It's cool if you don't come. It's good if you don't show up. Because this is the thing. You never showed up before. So why are you now following and stalking me to something that you said you didn't believe in? Why are you even involving yourself if you said it was dumb? Why are you involving yourself when you said I'd never go anywhere? Let me fail in peace, please, without you. And this is the thing. Some people, they didn't want to help you. They didn't want to appreciate you. They didn't want to support you because they couldn't understand it and they couldn't take it apart from you. They couldn't take it from you. So what they have to do is try to destroy it and discourage it. They'll even send in minions and people of that nature, people who don't even understand and can't even read, to try to just be ignorant all on your things. And it's up to you to be self-aware and keep pushing, because the brighter side is just there, okay? So I'm going to say I appreciate all my followers, all my subscribers, and everybody who shares, even if you're not subscribed, everyone who shares, anyone who's ordered the book Inside Gossip by myself. Just make sure that you are doing what you want to do. You're doing what makes you happy. Don't be discouraged by people that come around. Oh, you think you're all that. Oh, you think you're smart. Well, yeah. You should think that you're smart, or you should think that you're gaining knowledge so that you can claim that eventually. You understand? You don't have to be perfect in order to pursue perfection. Even if you never get there, at least you'll get some, kudos for trying. But there are some people who would try to discourage you from even looking in that direction. And I think that's wrong, and that's something that we definitely need to let go in society. Why should you keep a person from thriving all because you don't want to strive? It's a bit weird and it's social suicide, at least to me. So maybe we should recalibrate those things, all right? Okay. So let's get into it. We just did the Aquarius. Let's get into Pisces. If you know and you like my style, please like, share, and subscribe. And understand that the way that I read, I do give a lot of advice. I do give some solutions. I also let you know what the problem is in plain speak, okay? And I do say a lot of the quiet parts out loud. So pardon if I make you clutch your pearls every so often. I was born without that filter, okay? Pisces, the lovers came out in Gemini, Cancer, 3, and then we have the Queen of Cups. I like this spread. This spread comes out a lot, okay? The lovers, love, harmony, relationships, union, partnership, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, choice, the strength of two together. So somebody is choosing love. It doesn't always have to be two, but it does mean that you are enjoying yourself. You are enjoying your ups and downs. You enjoy the good parts of you. You enjoy the bad parts of you. You enjoy that dimple in the right side of your ass, because guess what? At least that gets to smile, okay? Embrace all of your differences, whether anyone knows about it or not. Embrace everything that is you. Okay? So then we got the 3, which is celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, friendship, community, happiness. Remember, this is the Pisces reading. Highly intuitive, as above, so below. If this, I think this is a north node, but if this is a south node, they're still wanting love. Just because you don't like a person doesn't mean that they don't deserve love. We all have different degrees, okay? All right. So, celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, friendship, community, and happiness. So, this actually does look like there is somebody with a lot of Gemini in their chart, Pisces, and double Cancer. So there's a lot of reciprocation. There's a lot of emotion in this Pisces. So this is an intuitive relationship. It's like you guys know you're supposed to be together, but you're not going to say it, okay? So somebody is approaching a situation in where they're going to have to keep their defenses up, because the Queen of Cups, not only is she compassionate, comforting, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring, she doesn't need to say a lot. She could just let the moment go and she could read it from there. And from there, she'll act accordingly. So this looks pretty good. 6 and a 3, which is 9, which is divine, on a hope and a prayer. And remember, when all else fails, God is going to bring you somebody, and it's not going to be confusion. Okay? Remember, this one is going to really, honestly, I'm spiritual, not a Christian. I will not put myself in a box so that someone can judge me while they go behind a robe and do unscrupulous things, okay? All right. So, like I said, in this Pisces reading, this is the lovers, Gemini, and the 3 of Cups, which is in Cancer. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is Gemini and Cancer together. Remember to pray, read your Bible, meditate, exercise, take time to go in and know you, so that when you come out, you are better towards society. You can understand, you can use your no effectively, and you can also use your yes effectively, and use discernment when using both, okay? All right, that was the Pisces reading with a lot of Gemini and Cancer in it. So this is going to be one of those relationships where you don't have to speak as much, but you might have a lot to talk about. You understand? You guys understand without having to talk it out. Okay? There you go. Let's get on over to the Aries. Must be the season of the warlock. Must be the season of the witch. Ooh. Must be the season of the warlock. Must be the reason I'm a bitch. Ooh. You stir your love up in my cauldron. Must be the reason you're not rich. It's not my fault you're spreading karma, or you just pulled up with that bitch. Oops. I heart you, I heart you. You want my milk and honey. I heart you, I heart you. You're broken, you're not funny. I heart you, I heart you. Your jokes are just not, your jokes and you're not bummy. I heart you, I heart you. Ooh, you're broken, you're still ugly. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, Aries. So, Nine of Cups came out. Two of Wands back out. Six of Pentacles. This is the Aries reading. Let me in. Okay. 9. Wish come true. Pisces. Contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, gratitude. All right. So somebody is satisfied. They've gotten their wish fulfillment. Aries. Leadership. Pisces. Okay. Then we've got the Two of Wands. Aries. Planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans. Okay, then we've got the Six of Pentacles, giving, sharing, wealth, generosity, charity, sharing. Okay, so look, okay, in Aries, take what resonates. Sun, Moon, Rising doesn't have to be these signs. This is just the personalities, the traits, and the characteristics you should be aware of. So we have Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, okay? And this is an Aries reading. Okay, so in this person intuitively knows that this is wish fulfillment. Might not be saying it because they don't want to say anything too fast. Although there are plans being made in the 5D. Even though they might not, the two lovers or the two business partners or the two family members, they might not be saying anything, but they're secretly making plans toward one another. And it looks like, hey, I wonder if this person would like this coffee shop. I wonder if we could go to this park. I wonder, right? So that looks a little bit like limerence, but it also looks like being optimistic, right? Just remember not to study too long because you could be wrong. Okay? So I think someone wants to move forward. I think that they might have found their wish fulfillment. They might have found the person or the business or the business or the family member who might be able to support them. And then it's 6. They're going to have equal give and take to the universe. So they remember whatever they sow, that's what they'll reap. Someone has finally found somebody who's going to treat them as they would like to be treated and vice versa. So this is wonderful. In the Aries, this is the Aries reading. Aries, Pisces, Aries again, and Taurus. So there's a lot of fire. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of ambition, interest when it comes to this. So the Pisces is definitely thinking before speaking, and the Taurus is making sure they're grounded and don't have their nose all wide open while they're trying to communicate. So this is going to go well. 9 plus 2, which is 11, plus the 6 puts that at the 18, which makes that puts that at 17, which makes it a star. So this might be the couple. This might be a power couple. This might be the star couple that has definitely met up. So congratulations to those who may or may not have met their life mate or their soulmate, because we all know twin flames is a lesson, that part, and it's very hard. So if you did end up with your twin flame, we know it's not perfect. There's a 50-50 chance, but you guys have decided that you didn't want to let each other go. Whatever it is, that's your choice. But right now we're talking about this star couple. They're coming up, and honestly, people are going to be jealous of this union. People are going to not going to understand, how in the hell did you meet that guy? How in the hell did you meet that girl? Like, what did you do? What prayer did you send up? Did you flirt? Did you kiss? Did you shake hands? How did you meet? What was the conversation about? And guess what? You guys are going to be so funny that you're just going to look at people and have those thoughts, those conversations that get exchanged in looks, and you're going to proceed. because everybody doesn't need to know the bells and whistles of your thing. And some people only want to be nosy so that they can try to break it apart. So remember, if you're into a new situation, be aware, be self-aware, know the people that you're going around, and know if they're haters, let your significant other know, hey, look, this is cool and everything, but I've got haters. So, people talk, people spread rumors, and you got to discern whether or not you have the right person with you, because only the right person isn't going to let another person come and talk them out of a situation where they've already thought of it as wish fulfillment. So if you see your partner as wish fulfillment, don't allow your homeboy, your homegirl, your aunt with no husband, your aunt on her fifth husband, or your cousin on her 30th baby father come in and try to talk you out of it. 9 times out of 10, they don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to have a relationship that's better than theirs. And they don't like that person because they look better than the person that they've been with. Jealousy is real. Okay, so that was your Aries reading, 9-2. That is 11 plus 6. That is 17. And that brings us to 6 again, which is equal give and take to the universe. You will reap what you sow. All right, there you go. Let's get on over to Taurus. Woo, look at that. I'm gonna get you sucker. Yeah. I don't know how that went. How that just came out. I'm gonna get you sucker. That was the Wayans brothers, right? I'm gonna get you sucker. That was a really good movie. It was a funny movie. It was a black spoof. Remember Blank Man? Blank Man, Meteor Man, Robert Towson, big TV conglomerate. He actually starred in his own movies after he wrote the scripts. But the Wayans also did the same thing. King of Swords, Two of Swords, Six of Cups. Head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority. That reminds me of Robert Towson a bit, especially in that movie. But the other one that played in Blank Man, I forget which Wayans, I always get there. Damon Wayans, he played Blank Man. Remember? Nobody liked him. They thought he was too weird. They thought it was just too much to deal with him. His brother was his biggest op. You understand? But his brother still cared for him, but his brother was his biggest op, right? And he had to navigate through all of that still while trusting in himself, knowing his inventions would work, knowing what he was talking about was true. He still had to deal with a lot of naysayers, a lot of people looking at him like he should just be put on the outside of every door he steps in. He still went through. He still got his thing through. And that's what we need to remember. Just because you don't understand a person's journey doesn't mean that the journey doesn't need to be taken. And a lot of people, funny enough, after they see that you succeeded in their journey, they start copying. They start trying to plagiarize because they see it works for you. But remember when they were talking about, oh, no, that ain't nothing. They ain't nobody. That's not going to amount to anything. And then the minute you started to get motion, they hopped on a hate train, the invisible hate train, and said, I hope they don't see me, but I'm going to ride it out. I hope they don't see me. Oh, I always believed in you. Lying asses. Anyway, back to Taurus. So we got Taurus, Gemini, Libra, and Scorpio. Making head over heart decisions, having blind faith, and remembering that even though you may not have the best memories going back, you can make the best memories going forward, okay? Remember to live a little more and dig a little deeper. All right? So that's 2 and a 6, which is 8, which is either karma or dharma. In your case, we're going to hope that's dharma. All right? So the 2 plus the 6 is 8. And we have Taurus, Gemini, Libra, Scorpio. Take what resonates, Sun, Moon, Rising. Boo! All right, Gemini, let's go. We started off in Cap, so our last one will be Sagittarius. Ten of Swords, Three of Wands, Four of Pentacles. That's 17, but it looks bad. Okay. Taurus. No, this is not Taurus. This is Gemini. But painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, defeat. What Gemini is going through this? Preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, expansion, overseas opportunities, saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, control, frugality. All right. So looks like there is a Gemini that is going through a painful ending. Maybe betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, defeat. And this is the thing. Some people need to go through a few things in order to get themselves together. Some of the best stars didn't become stars because they were happy. Some of the best rappers, some of the best singers, a lot of the best singers and rappers, they didn't become what they became because they were whistling Dixie. They weren't just on the toilet somewhere swinging their legs and said, you know what, I'm going to make the award-winning, a Grammy-winning song. You know what? A lot of talent came from being hurt. Being so hurt. Being isolated, being ostracized, being stepped on, being told that your feelings weren't valued. A lot of talent came from people being hurt. Sometimes you haven't made the best thing you can get to because you haven't been hurt enough. You haven't experienced enough loss. You haven't gone through enough life. And I'm telling you, some of the best comedians, some of the best artists, some of the best singers, some of the best actors came from very volatile, hostile, toxic environments, and they used whatever they had to express themselves. So it came out in art, it came out in song, it came out in building a house, it came out in so many other ways. And this is how you find your purpose. You put your pain to your purpose. So somebody went through maybe a Mary J. Blige situation. Somebody went through maybe a Charlize Theron situation, because the beautiful Charlize Theron that we see now is not the one that came up. She was missing teeth. She wasn't the best looking. She was very skinny. And as she got older and went through the pain, her pain ended up channeling into her being one of the best actors out here. She played in Monster. I don't think you can get much more talented than that. She went from being modelesque to being one ugly SOB in that damn movie. She was horrible looking. And then she gets all that shit wiped off and she's cute again. Who knew? But this is what I'm saying. A lot of the things that we're getting now, a lot of the best that we've gotten from people came from sheer pain. I'm not saying that that's a requirement in order for you to make something great, because some people can make things from rainbows and happy memories, but for the gist of us, that ain't what happened. We went through something and we couldn't find words for it, so we had to find a way to express it. And that's what happened, okay? So there's a Gemini turning pain into pleasure and possibly profit. This isn't a bad business model. I'll say it's been tried and true a lot. You see these people, they grow up, they get bullied, they get left by the wayside, they get counted out, and the next thing you know, you walk into them and they're thriving. And you remembered all those times you sat in the back of the classroom or in the back of the bus or at the dinner table or wherever you sat, and you talked about them and you did things to, mess up their character and all that stuff. And they still ended up doing so much better and smiling so much brighter than you and all the things that you got through being an asshole. I say that's wonderful. So, like I said, we're going into another 17 in Gemini. So, Gemini, you've turned pain into pleasure and profit. You're now in preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, expansion. There will be opportunities, maybe overseas, maybe in person, maybe over the internet. We don't know, but you have to seize the moment. Carpe diem. Into the night. Grastucci for my Russian friends. Ha! And then saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, control, and frugality. Knowing when and where to spend money, knowing when and where to pull it out, and knowing when to not to act broke, okay? And knowing when to pull a dollar out or two, okay? You're going to learn that. Not only that, you're going to learn when to talk. You're going to learn when to not talk. You're going to know when to be your all and when to reduce things so that people earn your presence and don't think that they're entitled to the whole thing that is you, okay? So remember how you want to slice up that pie. That was the Gemini reading, 17, which turns into a 6. You're going to reap exactly what you sow, Gemini. Just be consistent, okay? And self-aware, too. All right, let's get on over to the Cancer. What it is, Cancer, what it is. Yay! There are a lot of people who are on my journey who basically looked at me as like B-movie like, and it was like I was not B-movie. I'm actually supposed to be the producer. I'm not even supposed to be acting, because who's going to tell you, well, who's going to give placement better than I'm going to give placement? So I had to realize coming up that I ended up around a lot of people who didn't want to see me thrive. One, because they kind of knew I would, and two, they needed to beat me there. And unfortunately for me, I came across a lot of people who were older than me who didn't want me to get past them because they were older than me. They kind of felt entitled to being the leader when they hadn't led themselves further than where I wanted to go. And it's not to say that they weren't doing anything. It's just that they didn't appreciate their journey as much as they just wanted to mess minds up. If you get it, you know. So beware when you come across people when they get that look in their eyes. They might look like they're trying to give you good advice, but all in all, it's a box they're trying to put you in. Oh, I want you to do good, but not better than me. I want you to get somewhere, but I haven't gotten there yet in all my years, so I'm going to try to keep putting holds on you until I get there. And then maybe I might let you get past another ring. You know, the so-called gatekeepers, the people who haven't quite gotten through, but they've gotten some things over, and they see you and they're like, oh my gosh, this person is going to get it. I can't let them get it. I got to stick my foot out. I've got to trip them. I've got to sabotage them. I've got to do something, because if I let them get it, it's going to become very blatant and good for, and everybody's going to see that I didn't put in my best, that I didn't do the most, okay? I didn't do for myself where they're going to do for themselves, and they're going to make me look like I'm a slouch. So I can't let them get along at all. So I had to remember that when it came to some of these people who smiled in my face and did not give me opportunities. I remember it's too late to go back now. I'm going to remember you should have did right by me, and maybe I could have spoken right about you. But I ain't going to do nothing but tell the truth. And I think that's what a lot of people are scared of, because they didn't treat me well. They didn't give me the opportunities that I should have gotten. They would have gotten a lot further had they let me do my thing. But because they said, no, I'm going to put my great niece on, I'm going to put my nephew on, I'm not going to let this person, because what are they if they get anywhere, I can't claim their talent. Yep, a lot of you put your damn foot in your mouth, all because you didn't want to let a dude through. You didn't want to let a chick through. A lot of you guys messed up a lot of your next level, all because you're really a hater. High key, low key, high key. Good luck staying local. Anywho. All right, so we got the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and we've got the Ten of Pentacles, and the 10 is all we're in, all right? The 10 is wish fulfillment, emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic control, balance, supportive leader, tolerance, empathetic. And this is in the Cancer reading, Aquarius and Pisces, okay? Then we've got Knight of Cups, creativity, romantic, charm, imagination, beauty, knight in shining armor, following the heart, Prince Charming proposals. Ooh. And this is Libra and Scorpio. And the last but not least, the Virgo card, wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. Okay, so The wish fulfillment is being emotionally balanced, still having creativity, still open to love, and still being able to retain wealth and get it. Okay, somebody can also get the bag as much as they can keep the bag. All right, so take what resonates. Sun, moon, rising. This is the Cancer reading. We have Aquarius, Pisces, Libra, Scorpio, and Virgo. Lot of air, okay? A lot of air, little water, so there is emotion, but I'm just going to tell you the Scorpio is the passion and the Pisces is the intuitive. The most emotional water sign is the Cancer. So being as though this is not a Cancer, that means that ooh, the emotions are in control and balance. Tissue. The mucus is definitely coming out this morning. That is brain clarity. So if you're draining your mucus, that is great. Okay, so like I said, whoever this is in this Cancer reading, take what resonates. Does not have to be the signs. It's just personalities and characteristics. Aquarius, Pisces, Libra, Scorpio, and Virgo. This is the Cancer reading. Hope this helps. And that is a 10. So this is wish fulfillment. Somebody is finally getting back to the drawing board. They're back in love. They're back in romance. They're back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Welcome back. Welcome back, Carter. Remember that? That was a nice little show. Welcome back. Welcome back. What? I was about to say I drew 3 ones. What you talking about, Willis? Okay, so we're here in Leo. What's going on with you, Leo? We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. Remember on Horton Hears a Hue when he had the little the wish. He had the flower that we blow wishes on. And they were on there, the little people, they were so small, and he had to hear, he was like, they were like, we are here, we are here. So someone is coming out from feeling like they weren't seen. Somebody is finally being seen for who they are, the whole entire thing, not just the parts that people like and that they can pick apart. They're actually being seen for all their parts, which is good. That's good, right? So that's the coming out. Okay. I'm coming up. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Da-na-na, da-na-na, I'm coming out. Hey. Da-na-na-na-na. Oh, and we got 117, 117. Remember, I've been drawing 17s, which have been turning into 6 this morning. So we've got a lot of stars being reborn or being acknowledged. See, a lot of us didn't grow up with everybody clapping at our shows, coming to our talent shows, clapping when we thought we were doing something. I myself used to have a different little, a funny little minstrel show. I used to dance. I used to sing. I used to do the tie your towel around your neck and be a super person. Used to come. I had a lot of different creativity. But the thing about it, and when you're raised around bullies, people who don't have a lot of creativity and imagination, you're going to be the geek. You're going to be the dork. You're going to be the nerd. Is because your mind isn't on fleshly things. Your mind is on how does the moon and the sun work? How do they go up and come down? You're worried about the shapes of clouds and how the rain comes out. You're worried about how the ants seem to make a hill so fast. You're not worried about that girl is cute. You're not worried about that boy is hot. You're not worried about, stealing money or anything of that nature, okay? You're thinking about how the world works. And naturally, if you're not around in the right environment that is going to nurture your imagination, you're going to get bullied and ostracized because, hey, have you ever seen Matilda? It's not that she didn't really have a family technically, because they all looked at her like she was just the worst thing ever. However, she was the answer and the solution to a lot of things. It's just that they laid her by the wayside. They paid her no mind. They took no no recollection of her gifts. She wasn't acknowledged. She was treated very poorly by her mom and her dad and her brother, which happened to not have an IQ. And the thing about it is, she still was self aware enough that she knew she had to nurture herself. She knew she had to teach herself. She taught herself to grow up in the midst of a family that refused to help her. And there are a lot more situations like that than a lot of people choose to acknowledge, okay? So, with this being said, Leo, hey, here's for the Matilda in you, all right? Okay. Be careful because there are trench bowls everywhere. Okay, so Ace of Cups, which is the one. Love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. Hey, I heard baby in there. So if you're not ready to share, to have a baby, to share your body for at least 10 months, and to realize that, yeah, the person that you make the baby with might change too. Not only is your body and you going to change, but the person that you make the baby with is going to change too, whether or not you agree with the changes or not. So be careful with that baby making. Make sure that you're making a baby with somebody who actually wants a baby. Make sure you're doing it for the right reason, because even if they wanted the baby for the first 10 months or 10 years or 10 weeks, things may change. So be sure that you're having a baby for the right reasons, okay? But other than that, wrap it up so that you can have fun and you guys both don't end up resenting each other because you got to look for a babysitter, okay? All right, so Ace of Cups, love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposals, marriage. And I think that is one of the main things that make people break up. They have babies, they get to nutting all free and shooting up the club, and then they realize you still got to have a babysitter and you still got to feed it and you still got to protect it from stuff. So this is where a lot of people end up not being happy because one person ends up being more responsible than the other, or whatever happens. Just make sure that you're wrapping it up and you don't make a baby before you're ready to buckle down and get this family thing done, okay? Make sure, okay, that you're, and really, if you already have a family, back it up. People are not having a bunch of kids anymore. People used to have a bunch of kids to get financial support, okay? A lot of these people, even men, yes, men, a lot of people were just having kids just to make sure that they could get assistance, they could get some money, and they can get some housing. And that's for both men and women. Nowadays, people are not having a bunch of kids. Daycare is 800 plus, you know what I'm saying? Food, $80 brings you home one incomplete bag of food. You understand what I'm saying? People are not doing that. So if you're out here just trying to rack up a bunch of baby mothers, baby fathers, we're going to need you to go set down somewhere. And I mean that. And half of you don't even want to watch don't say that. Y'all don't want to watch them. Y'all don't want to take care of them. Y'all don't want to clean up behind them. And then y'all go out and get these damn dogs and do the same damn shit that you did with the kids with the damn dogs. And all of it costs money. And then you want somebody to take it. If you get the dog and you no longer want the dog, you want the SPCA take it for free. When really, you should have left the damn dog where the damn dog was because you didn't like them kids. So I don't know why you got a dog. That's something you actually got to physically pick up poop from. And some of y'all think y'all too good for that. I don't understand. Whatever. I digress. Go clean your damn house in the bottom of your toilet. One, Ace of Pentacles, abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, prosperity. All right. And then we got the 7 and Leo, which is opportunities, wishful thinking, choices, illusion, searching for purpose, and daydreaming. All right. So you're free to go forward and manifest as you see fit. You're free to go forward and approach that new family life, approach that new relationship, approach that new job, approach that new living environment. You're free to move. You're free to change schools, to change jobs, to change neighborhoods. You're free to move around. And you're free to dream about it. Dream big. Don't dream small. Dream big. And that is 1 + 1 and 7. And for the ones who just don't dream, and me, I don't believe in luck. I definitely do my business in blessings. Pray big. Ask God for what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Oh, Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Oh, call him up and tell him what you want. Everybody ain't gonna do that. Some of y'all gonna call your baby daddy, your baby mama. Some of y'all gonna call y'all sugar. All right, all right, all right. Some of y'all gonna call the curry out and order that extra large pizza with them extra hard wings. But guess what? Go on and get what you want. It's all right. It's okay. Baby, it's all right. Baby, it's okay. Baby, it's okay. Baby, it's all right. Baby, it's all right. Baby, it's okay. Baby, it's okay. Baby, it's all right. It's all right. Baby, it's okay. Woo! Ha ha! I remember that Ray Charles got in trouble for that. Yep, Virgo reading. Ray Charles got in trouble because they said that that song was for the better part um provocative. That's what they said. Remember, he had just gotten to cross the scene out of the Chitlin circuit. Like he was now starting to cross barriers, and they had when he had those white girls and guys who were supposed to be purebred Christians, never knowing how to undulate them hips, and he had them up there and them penny loafers and white socks talk about some baby, it's all right, baby, it's all right, baby, it's okay, baby, it's okay, baby, it's all right. Woo! I remember that part of the movie. It was great. But the thing is, you can get in trouble for freedom of expression sometimes. So know the room, read the room. But if you have the authority of the room and you have control and you got it like that, hey, be prepared to hit the stage. I'm going to be seeing a lot of you at the top. I know it. I can see it. It's coming. It's happening. It's loading right now. Okay. So Virgo, blind faith. Then we've got blind faith and Libra. Then we've got Taurus and Gemini, King of Swords. And then we've got Capricorn and the Two of Pentacles. Difficult decisions, weighing options, avoiding deadlock. Okay. So sometimes you have to have faith. If you know yourself and you know situations, sometimes you can use pattern recognition. Sometimes you can just use the process of elimination. But you're going to have to make some decisions and you're going to have to weigh options to avoid getting locked up somewhere, okay? So now we have the King of Swords, a head over heart decision. You're going to have to get your heart off your sleeve. You're going to have to straighten up your spine and stop being a jellyback. And you're going to have to make the hard decisions, have the real talks. You may have to be the one on the firing end. If you're on the hiring end, you may have to be the one to, hey, we no longer need you here, something like that. And sometimes you might have to fire yourself, and some people are not good at that. They don't understand when the job has definitely come to the end for them. Some people need somebody to fire them. Hey, come into the office, you suck, you don't do this, da, 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 da. But the very few of us who are definitely able to self-evaluate, we know when we can no longer do the job. We know when we're no longer, where our hearts are no longer in it. We know that on your production line of 20, you're not going to get but 15 or 10 from us today. We know it. Some of us know when to fire ourselves because we have esteem and we have ambition elsewhere. So some of us are definitely able to remove ourselves from a situation and apply ourselves in other places. So the two is signifying just that. Someone's going to have to balance out themselves and find out where they're supposed to be, because obviously they might be in someone else's lane. You know, some people, they come up, they look at you, they say, oh, well, what they're doing is lucrative. I'm going to do that too. And then they go in, they put money, they invest. They get the licenses and do everything, but then they find that they're not quite happy with what they've built. They don't like the amount of responsibility. They don't like the amount of accountability that comes with it. Some people would have been much more better on in the staff than they were as a supervisor. Some people don't know that. They don't know their limits. I remember there was a situation in a company where they kept trying to offer me a promotion. But the thing about it is, I never seen anybody get promoted and be happy in that company. I also seen where the person that gets promoted doesn't get a promotion of money. They just get a promotion of duties and things that they have to do. So I kept refusing to take the promotion, and they thought that they were going to, basically force me to take the promotion, but it wasn't a promotion to me. You were just going to delegate me more activities, and I was going to have to be responsible for them while not getting no more money. So I made sure every time I seen the look on their face where they would come down the hall, they would walk to me and they'd be like, and I'd be like, and they'd be like, well, damn. Because no, take your promotion. It comes with no money. It's not, you haven't mentioned 50 cents. You haven't mentioned 75. You haven't mentioned $1. You haven't mentioned 2. You haven't mentioned no vacation days. You haven't mentioned no comp time. You haven't mentioned any niceties that I would get beyond the fact that you were going to give me more things to do. And on top of that, you were going to make me do some of your job, and you still weren't going to make me give me any of your paycheck. So no, some people need to realize when the promotion isn't a damn promotion. Because now you make other companies feel like, well, we offered that one a promotion. Who are you to think that you can't take it because you're going to get shitted on in the long run? Me, the person who does not think that they're toilet paper and does not want to be wiped on. Me. Take your damn promotion and shove it right where you went with no money. So be aware of yourself when someone is trying to promote you into more responsibility and not trying to give you no more money. Sometimes you may try to put yourself as a supervisor, not realizing that that doesn't make you happy. Do you understand the amount of responsibility that a supervisor has to put up with? And then you have to understand that when you become a supervisor, now you're open to the bigwigs. The bigwigs have no respect. They've come from where you are and they plan on staying there, so they're not going to respect you. What they're going to do is call you all sorts of weird hours outside of your work time. They're going to try to get you to do things off of payroll. And for some of you, you're weak enough to do it, and then you get upset when you see me, who chose to be a little Indian and refused to be a chief, being happy. Because guess what happens when I clock out? You better not call my ass. I don't get paid enough for you to call me after hours. But you wanted to be the chief. So you signed up to be called whenever. You signed up to be sent this way, that way. You signed up for it. So you be careful when you say you want to be a chief. Some people are much more happier being Indians and pick and choose where you're going to be a chief and where you're going to be an Indian. Discernment is priceless, okay? All right. So in this Virgo, somebody's finding out that being a chief is way more than being an Indian. And some people make a lot more being an Indian because they get to actually be a part of their family. They get to go home. They get to clock out. And they actually get to work on some things that they would like to do, as opposed to having a supervisor saying, hey, they might have some time to themselves. Let me call them and tell them that they need to call everybody for the work week next week. Let me call them and tell them that they have to set up Zoom. Let's mess up all their free time so that I can sleep with her husband or sleep with his wife. I'm just saying, these are the possibilities. I read books and watch movies. Humbug. I'm being creative. But I'm letting you know that that's the possibilities. Sometimes whatever you bit off is more convenient for more people, other people than you. And that's a hard pill to swallow. You go home from lunch, you had an emergency. The boss then gave you all sorts of extra things to do. And you go home and you hear noises coming from your bedroom. And then you go up the stairs and you realize that that's your boss. That's your boss in your bedroom. And guess who else is in the bedroom? Your spouse, the one that you never get to go home to because your boss is always overworking you. Yep, it wasn't by mistake that they overworked you. They needed you out of the home so that they can mess up your house. hard pill to swallow. So you be careful being the chief or being the Indian. Either way, you need to use discernment and pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, so that was the Virgo, and the numbers are 22. I don't know who that's for, but 4, which means you're going to have to rethink your whole foundation. Damn it. So that's a 4, okay? Ancestors and reaching back and foundation and things of that nature. Definitely get your stuff together and understand that you are responsible for the foundation that you have, okay? What you're going to build upon is very, very important. Are you going to build up on sand or are you going to build up on ground? Either way, things need to be reinforced. All right, so that was the 2 and 2. That's the Virgo reading. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, and Libra. Take what resonates, sun, moon, rising. Don't force the rest. All right. You know our last one is going to be Sagittarius. So the next one is Libra, then Scorpio, then Sagittarius. Okay, last 3. We're in Libra right now. Okay, Libra. Damn. 10 of Swords. 4 of Cups, 3 of Wands. We've got a 17 going on in Libra. Okay, painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, defeat. Okay. Then we've got the meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. So someone's definitely going through a lot of painful endings, betrayal, loss, collapse, defeat. Narcissistic collapse is something else, okay? And then we've got meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation. So somebody's really trying to figure out how they got so disconnected in this world. A lot of it was done by them, okay? It's crazy in this Libra reading because my ex was a Libra. My ex-husband was a Libra. And the thing about him is, I know that this is painful. I also understand that I'm not the first wife that he tried to get off this earth. Okay, I believe I believe he got rid of. I believe that he set that fire with them kids, because how can you not care about your kids that you have now? I'm pretty sure that after the first fire with the first wife, and he didn't get enough insurance money from that first wife because none of the kids in the fire was his, he said, okay, the next ones, I'm going to make sure I have kids in there and make sure I have insurance on them so that I could get money off of all of them. Because I remember when you told me that you and your mom split that check from your first wife and you didn't get much of it. I guess because she's the one that hired the help to get rid of her. Be careful. There are some sons and mother and son duos, and they don't plan on ever letting you have a good time with their son. Their son is only there to take care of them and them. Okay? They will not let you have a good relationship. They will always keep their doors open. Every time you and their son get into it or you and their daughter get into it, they will always have the door swing open because they need that child to help pay bills. Okay? So, in my situation, I did not know that the mother-in-law that I was getting was going to be trying to help him make the investment in me and then try to take it all away by making sure that I was gone. Okay? Because that woman ain't even checked on no grandchild. So don't you let nobody come and tell you that they give a damn about no grandchild over here. They capping and they only trying to see if they can get some money out of it. I was tripping because I was like, dang. So that's what definitely happened to the first wife, because he don't give a shit about no kids. If he can't get no money or no clout or no coochie off of it, he don't give a shit about no kids. And that was very prevalent when I said, I am no longer laying with you. He went out and found the next victim. And I'm telling you, the way he tried to played like he was committing suicide when I found out he was sleeping with whoever Barbara is, had to be studied. Got in that bathtub and acted like he was dying. That was a superficial cut. But I didn't tell nobody that he was going to the mental institution for 30 damn days because I still wanted my damn child support. But since he ain't giving it to me, now it's time for me to say it. That motherfucker went in a mental facility for over 30 days and had the nerve to come back with a number out of there. That man don't give a damn about nobody. He is seriously cuckoo. Anyway, back to the Libra reading. I ain't gonna tell nobody else. Smokey. but it's the truth. Test the spirit. Anyway, so in this Libra reading, we got painful endings, we got disconnection, contemplation, we definitely got apathy, and then we've got preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, and overseas expansion. Somebody wants to run, somebody wants to escape. He does not like what he built. Might be a woman too. Some Libra women, I found out they don't be balanced at all. They be a bit narcissistic and they go through narcissistic collapse. They try to hoard everybody's resources for themselves, and they make it seem as though it's supposed to be all love and everybody's supposed to be getting together and everybody's supposed to be reasonable. But what they don't tell you when the other shoe drops is everything was just supposed to be reasonable for them. They really didn't give a damn what you got out of it as long as they got the bulk of it, okay? So be careful dealing with either a Libra male or Libra female, especially if they're on their south node. They're going to hoard everybody's resources, everybody's friends, everybody's everything. And they're going to use everybody accordingly. And it's up to you to catch on and jump off that usership, because this is what's going to happen. Oh, by the way, the new hacking scheme, it's not new, but it's new to me. People with Xboxes and PlayStations, remember, I didn't know why everybody had to pay damn near a mortgage for these game consoles. Now I understand. The reason why a lot of these people have to have game consoles is because they do hosting parties. They host servers. And this is how a lot of scammers and hackers are able to do what they do untraced. They have someone in the gaming community or someone in the cyber community host the server. They use whatever is in that memory board or keyboard or whatever is in that Xbox or whatever's in that PlayStation, and they host servers where a lot of scammers and hackers can come through using that system, and it's untraceable back to them. The person that hosts is only there to host, not to hack. They get money to use their system to hack through. So that's something in case anybody wants to know, how are these people hacking me? How are these people scamming me? How are these people? They're setting things up inside these Xboxes and these PlayStations. This is why you got grown ass men ready to hurt you over these consoles. It's some serious shit that they're doing in these gaming communities. This is how they're raping people. This is how they're unaliving people. And this is how they're most definitely doing the human trafficking. It's a very hidden way to do all of your business and not have it drawn back to you. So there are people, I'm trying to tell you, this is how you will see a Dusty with a bunch of shingles on his face getting a lot of money, and you trying to figure out, yo, this dude don't come out. This dude don't even look washed. Well, he's getting a lot of money because he's in there helping people get to the bag illegally. Okay? And there's a lot of money to be made when people don't want to be caught. All right, so that's just something for you to know. This is why a lot of people are getting their heads knocked in. A lot of things is happening. When you see that man is too attached to that Xbox, that PlayStation, and it got to go everywhere with him, know that there's some bullshit going on, and know that you can be in danger if you get on them consoles. Know that there is some situation where you might be tapping into something that can get you caught up and make you a co-conspirator. So you be easy, breezy. All right. And that was the Libra reading. Okay. 10 plus 4 plus 7 plus 3 is a 17. And yeah, some people wanted attention, but I don't think they wanted this type of attention. But superstar. Yeah, that 17 turns into a 6, which is equal give and take to the universe. Hey, if you can dish it, you can take it. Cause it's a different world, ooh, than where you come from. You've been here now. Take it. Hey, you can dish it, you can take it, yeah. Just remember where you've been from. Hey, it's a different world. Boy, oh boy, were a lot of lessons learned watching A Different World. Jasmine Guy. If we all judged her based on her character on the show, we would have never gotten the Jasmine guy that we have now. Something to think about. It's called primary bias. Oh. So, Scorpio, pull up on me, baby. All right, now we got a 6. Oh, shoot now. Did we do this? Did we do this? We really did this. Okay. The 369 came out. Not only is that an administrative number, that is school district, that is business, that is that's a lot of systems, a lot of systems numbers, but also it's a money method. 369 method. You can pull it up, you can Google it, whatever. But oh, in case someone need, no, don't warn them. They know better. They're adults. It's called the cloud. It's called a digital footprint. Okay, they know. All right, so 369 method. All right, 369. So we got the 3 of Cups, celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, friendship, community, happiness. Then we've got the Lovers, love, harmony, relationships, union, partnership, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, choice, the strength of 2 together. Then we've got the 9 of Cups, wish come true, contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, and gratitude. There is nothing wrong with these numbers, with these cards. Everything is going in good flow, because 369 is good flow. Not only are these numbers that are on the same multiplication line, but it's like it's an easy flow. 369, 369. You get there faster with this method. So definitely in Scorpio. Yeah, because the last one is Sagittarius. In Scorpio, we got 3 of Cups, which is Cancer. We got the Lovers, which is Gemini, and we've got the Pisces, which is the 9 of Cups. So we've got 9 plus 9, that's 18, which leads us back to another 9. Everything is divine. Everything is on your hopes, your prayers, your premonitions. Everything is based on your spiritual hygiene. So as long as you're on a up and up, you're on a upright, you're doing things by the book, you're not doing things to ruin people, you're not using your authority to destroy others, and you're doing everything to the best of your abilities and leaving the rest behind, you're going to go far and you're going to go fast. You don't need to let anybody know what your progress is, as long as you know what your progress is. Remember, people are haters. We don't know what haters look like. They look like everything nowadays, okay? All right. So, like I said, the number is 369, which is 18, which takes us to 9, which is divine. Remember your spiritual hygiene. Remember the things that come out of your mouth. Remember the thoughts that are in your head, and pay attention to the things that you are looking at, the things that you are reading, the things that you are listening to. That can affect you spiritually as well. Okay? All right. And don't forget to Google the 369 method. All right, there you go. There was your Scorpio reading, Sun, Moon, Rising, Scorpio, Cancer, Gemini, and Pisces. A lot of emotion, but there is communication. So maybe there's somebody who you want to tell that you love them. Maybe there's somebody who you want to tell that you care. Maybe there's somebody that you want to tell that you miss them. Okay? All right. That's it for Scorpio. All right. So the last but not least, we got Sagittarius. Come on up. Sagittarius. That is the Archer. Let's go. I want to shuffle a little bit more because that's our last one. And then we're out of here. We did very good. 1 hour and 38 minutes. That's really good. It wasn't as good as yesterday because I really feel like yesterday was so quick. I think I went only an hour for yesterday and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, shoot. So the 2 came out right away. The 2 of Wands. And the 10 of Swords and the King of Pentacles. What's going on, Sagittarius? Everything, it looks, let's just read it. Okay. Planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans, painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, defeat. King of Pentacles, wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, generosity. somebody's going to have to leave because something didn't go the way they wanted to go. And if something happened with their business, their leadership, their security, their discipline, their abundance, their prosperity, and generosity. Okay, Sagittarius. This went left. This went all the way left. Okay. This is basically saying that you may be planning a leave or an exodus. You might be planning to relocate, or you might be relocated, depending on who I'm speaking with. And there is something painful about what happened. There was something painful about coming to the end of this wealth, this business, this leadership, this security, this discipline, this abundance, this prosperity, this generosity. Whatever happened, that was divine intervention, because we have a 2 and a 10 here, and that's the only numbers that we have. Sagittarius. This was Sagittarius reading. Sagittarius, Aries, Gemini, Leo, and Virgo. Take what resonates. Sun, Moon, Rising. Someone's basically about to either relocate or be relocated due to this painful ending that has come to the wealth, the business, the leadership, the security, the abundance, and the generosity. Hopefully this time does not, bad things don't last always, but we also have to be accountable of the things and the parts in which we played to make bad things happen. So like I said, a 2 and a 10 means 12, which is divine intervention. And yeah, some people may have to start over, but allow the Lord to lead the way, because whatever you did, you didn't set up the foundation the way it was supposed to. So for some people, fast money isn't always good money. The faster you make it, the faster they take it, okay? So you have to be accountable going forward. And as you get older, you're supposed to make better decisions, not worse decisions. So a lot of you definitely, I'm not here to coddle you. You have to be accountable for your things. So if it is for divine intervention, then maybe there's some bad karma that you have to go through. Maybe you have to go through the dark night of the soul. Maybe you just have to go through a painful ending and have things stripped away from you so that you can gain them in a better way. Either way, a lot of times some things are not being done to you. Some things are being done for you. It all depends on your perspective. And like I said, some people don't get to the best parts of their life until they go through the worst. And they're able to enjoy or not take those things for granted. So take what resonates. Sun, Moon, Rising. This has been the Sagittarius reading. Hopefully I've helped you in some kind of way. And if I haven't, maybe you should find another reader. And that's going to be okay too. All right. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And share me in the algorithm, because someone else might need my words. All right. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Sagittarius, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Virgo. The number is 12, which turns into divine intervention, is a 3. And I love the Lord. Do you? All right. So I'm out. Que pasa? Amo. Hasta luego. Yeah, today is what? Miércoles?